Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Host Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. Trinidad and Tobago in community spread of Delta. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Thursday, 30th September 2021. Details when we return.
Hubbard's big promotion is back. Live free for 1 year. Spend $50 or more in any Hubbard's department and receive a chance to win big prizes every month. Property or vehicle insurance for 1 year. Free internet, cable and data for 1 year. Free fuel for 1 year. Free cooking gas for 1 year. Free electricity for 1 year. Free drinks for 1 year. Extra cash account and the big free groceries for 1 year. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2021. Live free for 1 year with Hubbard's in association with Solgas, Flow, Grenadian General Insurance, Carib Brewery, Coca-Cola, Grenada Bottling Company, Grenlec, Communal Cooperative Credit Union, Dutch Lady Milk, Promo, Danny and Supreme. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Health in Trinidad and Tobago has officially confirmed what was suspected about a week ago. Trinidad and Tobago is now in community spread of the Delta variant of the coronavirus, but they consider themselves to be still in the budding stage. This revolution comes on the heels of an announcement on Sunday that 6 new Delta cases were picked up. Meanwhile, COVID-19 cases are showing an upward trend in several counties in Trinidad. TV6's Alicia Boucher has the details from the Health Ministry's news conference.
Chief Medical Officer Dr. Roshan Parasram says the main point the country should focus on at this time is getting vaccination numbers up, especially in light of the increase in Delta cases, a total of 17 recorded to date.
Reaching to the stage that can be stated that it is in community spread. We are seeing, we would have reported last night, 6 additional cases, 5 of which have no travel-related component to it. So we can clearly say that now we are in a stage of community spread of Delta, albeit in the early stages.
According to Dr. Parasram, of the recent 6 Delta cases, 4 are linked to previous positive patients.
So there would have been contacts of other positive cases. Those cases themselves have not been deemed Delta as yet. So out of the 5, there was 1 case that was basically a standalone sort of case where we are continuing the epidemiological investigation. But the other 2, so there was 2 that related to 1 case and another 2 in a different geographic location, again related to another case.
Dr. Parasram tells us the 5 patients are either asymptomatic or showing very mild symptoms and were discovered as a result of contact tracing, while the ministry on Sunday labeled 2 of the cases as unvaccinated minors. The CMO is providing more clarity.
So there's 1 person out of all the adults that had a vaccination prior. All the rest were unvaccinated, including the minors.
In terms of whether we've seen any of these Delta cases that we've gotten so far being reinfections where persons had COVID-19 before and then contracted the Delta variant.
So as far as we could tell, none of the infections were secondarily picked up at that a Delta persons would have had COVID before. There's 1, as far as I'm aware, in terms of the media, there's something circulating in the media where there's a premise that someone says that they would have been infected twice.
But Dr. Parasram says the matter is being investigated by the Southwest Regional Health Authority based on some inconsistencies with the report and the time frame it takes to get the results from genomic sequence testing. According to the CMO, of the 4,000 plus active cases in the country, County Caroni accounts for 15.3%, County St. Patrick 13%, and Tobago 11.5%. While those are among the highest percentages, it is County Victoria that stands atop the list, recording 25.7% of all active cases. But the ministry notes that this statistic has been consistent for a few months now. Epidemiologist Dr. Avery Hines says the numbers represent an upward trend for some counties.
And in several counties, we're starting to see now 3 weeks or so of incremental increases. And this is, again, cause for attention. We don't want the numbers of cases week to week to be creeping up.
In this regard, the ministry is pleading with the population to get vaccinated to avoid unnecessary gatherings and ensure strict adherence to the public health protocols. The ministry says there is no evidence at this time to suggest that there is a correlation between the increase in positive cases and the Delta variant. Alicia Boucher, TV6 News.
Antigua and Barbuda now has access to a refrigerated container for the storage of bodies if required. However, it remained unused up to Tuesday afternoon as efforts continue to ensure funeral homes can have more space. Ragib Aparacio of ABS News reports.
This storage container represents the grim reality the country is facing. COVID-19 related deaths continue to rise. Over 50 people are in hospital and 10 are considered severe. In an effort to prevent the possibility of there being more bodies than room, the Ministry of Health has retrofitted this container and will use it as a temporary storage facility. Celeste Bird Medical Center Medical Director Dr. Albert Duncan says the decision came after funeral homes announced they had reached capacity over the weekend.
The government quickly sprang into action and tried to get a refrigerated container should this become the norm going forward. We haven't really used it to some extent right now. We have got a few autopsies out of the way, and the funeral homes probably have some more space right now.
He warns the Sir Leicester Bird Medical Center is seeing an increasing number of people exhibiting severe symptoms of COVID-19.
Most of the patients who have come to the hospital now are coming 10 days after the seasons have started, and they're more severe. Most of them are getting intervention with ventilators or high oxygen flow coming to the gate.
The Infectious Disease Center, he adds, is also treating COVID-19 positive patients. But what of the recently opened Sir Cothwin Lake Medical Center? That facility is yet to admit any patients. Dr. Duncan explains utilizing the Nugent Avenue facility would greatly increase the strain on the hospital's human resource.
We were supposed to get some additional staff to go to that MTTC center. That has not materialized yet. So at the present time, we have not used that yet. But we're kind of lucky that we had some extra beds and we were able to discharge a few patients. So it's not as tight as we thought it would be.
Rakib Aparis reporting for ABS News.
Vincentian Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves said a memorandum given to members of the statutory boards and corporations and other state-owned entities would require all frontline workers to take the COVID-19 vaccine.
I drafted a memorandum to the chairperson and members of the boards of all statutory enterprises and private and state-owned companies and public enterprises generally, that they've also been given a choice to be vaccinated by the 15th of October or demit their offices so that, to take their first vaccine by then, if they haven't taken it yet. I know many of them have. The cabinet, as you know, from the very beginning, we are all vaccinated in the cabinet. And I don't see how we could have the cabinet vaccinated and we are asking frontline workers, for instance, in the port and the airports, to be vaccinated. And then the people who are running these statutory enterprises or public companies not to be vaccinated.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
Barbados' Prime Minister continues to keep a close eye on the COVID-19 surge, and she's banking on more people stepping forward to be vaccinated.
Prime Minister Mia Mottley is already heartened by the increase in numbers opting to get the jab.
When you look at the numbers, the truth is that we are already at a stage where 58% of those eligible to take the vaccine have taken it. And why do I say so? There is no vaccine that can be used by anybody from being a baby to 12 years old now. That's to the point of becoming 12. There's no vaccine. But yet you have about 40-something thousand Barbadians in that category. So when you subtract that from our total, you begin to see that the numbers, the 132,000 people who have taken the vaccine, when taken as a percentage of the eligible population, is in fact far more, and is almost 6 in every 10 Barbadians that have already taken it who are over the age of 12. That is a significant achievement for this country, and while we are not yet where we want to be, we are significantly along the road, and we have a gap that we must close, and I'm satisfied that over the course of the next few weeks, we will close that gap.
The Constitution Amendment Bill 2021 in Barbados attracted robust debate in the House of Assembly as the country moves to becoming a republic by the end of November.
In other news, lawmakers today engaged in robust debate on the Constitution Amendment Bill 2021 as the country moves toward becoming a republic by the end of November. Opposition leader Bishop Joseph Atherley declared his support for the change, but questioned the legality of the move.
If it is that the Barbados Parliament can lawfully repeal or revoke an order in council in the British Parliament, Mr. Speaker, and the Barbados Parliament repeals that order in council in the UK Parliament, and the Constitution of Barbados was a schedule to that order, then the question has to be addressed to settle any doubts in the minds of people. On what basis then does the Constitution stand? Mr. Speaker, you're a lawyer. The Constitution is an attachment, a schedule, an appendix to an order in council. If you repeal and revoke the order, on what basis does the Constitution stand alone?
Bishop Atherley also took issue with the timing of the move, insisting it's wrong.
I have to say, and I've said this to the Honourable Prime Minister, I've said it publicly, I support the move to republic. I support the nomination when it comes in the appropriate format and time. But I believe very strongly that we are doing this at the wrong time, and that the process leaves much to be desired. I believe that there are many out there who are of the view that we're not getting this right when it comes to the process. The old Bajan expression of putting the cart before the horse. In my view, with respect to this, the cart is not even in the same yard as a horse. And I think that that should give us pause for thought.
In response, leader of government business, Santia Bradshaw, dismissed Atherley's line of questioning and suggested that there will never be a right time to make the change to complete the cycle of independence.
So it is not fair, sir, to have to listen to the honourable member behave as though, while he supports it, all is wrong with our timing, as if he got a time put down, sir. We don't have a time put down. And whether it is improvements in our healthcare or our education or in our community centres, honourable members on this side are working not just for today, but to plan and to strategize for tomorrow as well. Because we don't believe that we will always be in a pandemic. We don't believe that the tide is always going to be against us. We don't believe that the population will not always be vaccinated. We've set targets, sir, even when it seems as though we've been losing the battle. We've set targets because we want our children back into school. And when they get back to school, we want to be able to teach them that they can become the head of state of this country, Barbados.
Did you know that your friends and family can now shop at the Food Fair from anywhere in the world, and you can receive here in Grenada? The Food Fair and GrenadaMarket.com now make it possible through secure online shopping and personalized customer service. Simply send your loved ones a list of your preferred items or let them fill an online basket, and the items will be available for pickup or delivery. Visit GrenadaMarket.com or thefoodfair.gd today for more details. The new norm. Spread the news.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.